Hi soulmates, welcome to class. So this is the outcome of the blouse we've been making previously, and this is how it is. So I would like to show us the beading part and then the draping of the net on top of it. So this is the bust cage blouse. Apart from the bust cage, there is no boning on the other parts of the dress, and it has a zipper. Now I'm going to be using this bead. This is a glass bead, and this is the color of the bead I want to use. And then I have my needle and thread. I'm using size 11 needle, right? Or size 10 is bigger than size 11, so I'm using size 10 needle to do this because the I needed a needle that is strong. Okay, so you can actually use any needle size that you want. Since the bead has holes, they are not so tiny. So I'm going to be beading on the upper part of the dress because the net is going to be covering from the bust area to the under bust, and of course this blouse is a bit high, so it's just going to be from the upper part. Now to insert the needle, I need to find a position that will hide the knot of the thread. Okay, so I started from inside, but then the inside is kind of hidden too. Now you want to do the same thing. So once you pass your needle and thread this way, you're also going to tighten it again, and then use your excuse me, your bead. Now this bead is just one at a time, one at a time. You're not going to take up to two or three at the same time. It's just one at a time. Okay, so once you pass your bead into the needle like so, you're going to place it very close to where the you came out from. Okay, where the thread is already it already is. So once you insert it there, the next place you're coming out is where you want the next bead to be. Okay, so you take it exactly very close so that the thread doesn't show, and then come out or bring out the needle from the next place you want to place your bead. Now this particular method of beading is just scattered, right? There's no direction. Just make sure that the upper part is filled up. So you might not want to give it so much space. And even if you give it space in the beginning, initially, once you're done, you still have to come back and fill it up. Okay, so it doesn't have so much space. So in this part now, I'm just trying to show us how to go about the beading, and it actually has space, but I'll still come back to fill it up. And then after this part, I will also bead the strap area, that is the sleeve, the strap. I'm also going to bead it, and then the lower parts, as we saw in the picture, I'm also going to bead it. But the thing is that I'm using this same method of beading. Okay, I'm using the same method of beading. You can use the same method but different direction or different pattern. I hope you understand what we mean by pattern and method. Okay, so this is just what I'm going to be doing. Take the bead, pass the needle very close to where the bead is, as you can see, and then come out from where I want the next bead to be, just like that. We're going to be repeating this process. Honestly, beading is not an easy job. It's really not an easy job. It requires you to be patient, very, very patient. If you're not patient, you can misplace all the beads that you have, like they'll just be falling down. Okay, so I'm just going to continue all of this. And while you do this, please stay in a position that will not affect your back. Okay, you might want to sit. You don't even have to stand because your leg is going to pain you. Okay, so try as much as possible and make sure you're fine as you're doing this. So I'm just going to go ahead, finish it up, and then once I am done with the beading and the area that I want the bead to be, the upper part of the bust, the strap, and the lower part, you can decide to fill everywhere with the beads. That's according to what you want, but what I'm doing is just the way I want it. Then we'll go over to draping the net on the blouse. I hope this makes sense to you. I hope you actually saw how I am doing this beading and you're going to do the same. Okay, so now this is the outcome of what we have just done. And you can see the upper part, the strap, and the lower part. I've done the much I can. Okay, so I have the net I want to drape. Actually, I got 2 yards of net, but after using it, it was bulky on the dress, so I divided it into two. So basically, what we have here is 1 yard of net. Now, the net is not that soft. This net has some kind of weight. I think that's why 2 yards was quite bulky on it. So I'll fold the net into two so that the two edges stays in between. Okay, so on that part, I'm going to be draping it on the blouse. I'll make sure that it is equal. Okay, so that no part is longer than the other. So from the underbust, excuse me, from the underbust, I'm going to place the net and make sure it stops exactly where my beading stops, right? So that whoever sees it will think it continues inside even though it does not. So exactly where the beading stops, that's where I'm going to be placing this and making it touch the underbust. So I'll use my pin to hold it together to the to the blouse. I'm going to use my pin to hold it to the blouse so it does not fall out. I hope you can see the pictures or the video very clearly. Okay, so while you're placing this, you will have to use your hands to form the pleats. If you need it to have a pleat, of course it should have pleats for it to be more beautiful. So use your hand to form the pleat, and as you form, you pin it. Now to form the sleeve also, you don't have to make it get into the armhole. Okay, you know where your sleeve usually starts. You don't need to make it get into the armhole so that you can actually make use of your hands. So just pin it towards the armhole, but not at like under the armhole. I hope you get what I'm talking about. So continue to arrange the net. You can use any color of net you want, but let it be something that blends into the design, that into the color of the blouse that you're working with or color of the beads that you're using. Okay, so it doesn't look odd. So I'm continuing to arrange it this way. As I arrange, I'll pin. As I arrange, I'll pin. Now the interesting thing is that we're going to be using hand to sew this net. Okay, it's going to be hand stitched because at this point you might not want to take it to the sewing machine and then the sewing will be showing from the outside. So if you're not yet good with your hand beading or hand needle, the usage of hand needle, this is the time to get used to it. You can see the way it's looking beautiful already. Then I'm going to arrange the sleeve parts. Now I want it to get to the armhole so that I can use it to cover my arms. Okay, at least the right hand side to cover the arms. So I'm going to be placing it this way. I'll still use the pin to hold it so it doesn't fall away. I'm still loving this look as I'm looking at it and having this recording. It's so beautiful. The colors blend so well. Okay, so this is something you might want to do. If you do not want to use it as sleeve, you can just take it to the back, just straight like that. Okay, so I'm not measuring anything to know how much sleeve I want. I'm using the mannequin to measure it because the arm of the mannequin is already out and it's going to size a human being who is not that big. Okay, so I'm going to be pinning it at the back, but first you have to make sure you arrange properly what you want and how you want it to look. Okay, now on this other part too, initially I did the same thing I did on the other part to use it as a sleeve, as you can see, but later on I decided to change it to make it one part. Now on this part I want to fold it at the zip line, at the zipper line. Okay, so once I finish folding it this way and getting what I want, I can then go ahead and cut the excess that is inside. You know, I folded the excess inside. If it is looking bulky, you have to trim it, but if it's not bulky, you can just leave it the way it is. Okay, so this is what we are having here, and you can tell that it's looking beautiful already. So I want to know, is it okay leaving it as two sleeves this way, or leaving it the way we saw it in the picture, one side sleeve and the other side across the arm? Hmm? Let me know what you think. So this is what we have. It's looking beautiful, even though I decided to change one part after everything. So what I'm going to do here now is to tack the upper part to the main dress. Okay, I'll tack the upper part so that it does not shift, because if it shifts, somebody is going to see that there is a difference between the beading part and the part that is not beaded. So I need to hold it down so that it does not move or show. If you hold this upper part, the lower parts might not be necessary to be held because it's not going to be shifting. But this upper part can have the tendency of shifting, and when it shifts, the imperfection, though not an imperfection though, because that's how we want it, but then it might just be showing. So stitching this, you're going to do it in such a way that the thread will not be seen outside. Okay, the thread will not be seen outside. You're going to be sewing it inside, in between the main fabric and the nets, right? You're going to sew it inside, and then endeavor to use a matching thread so that if peradventure something shows, it's not going to be obvious, right? So this is what we have. We stitch both the upper parts, the armhole area that is draped, and the back side, and then on the strap. So anywhere that you have the pin, you're going to stitch on that part, but while stitching, make sure that it is not seen on the outside. Okay, having this done on the camera, if I'm to cover all of them, it's going to take so much time, but using this that I've shown already, you can use it to do the other parts. Okay, especially the part of the armhole, sew it from the inside so that it doesn't show outside. Okay, so let me know what you think in the comment section. Is it beautiful? Of course I know it's beautiful, but I want to get your own opinion. Can you tell me in the comment section, what do you like about the colors? And this is the outcome of what I finally did. Okay, and I love it the way it is. So thank you for watching to this part. See how the beads are. Okay, see this part, so beautiful. You can decide to tack it more. And the back side, everything is looking, the armhole, like I was telling us, this is it. You can see that the thread is not showing outside. And this is how I decided to do the back as well. Okay, so let me know what you think. Is this something beautiful? Thank you so much for watching to this end. Please subscribe to this channel, and we're going to be seeing again in our next video. Please leave a comment, leave a comment, leave a comment, engage on my post. Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching. I am so grateful that we've come to this part, and I love it. Bye.